They say that hindsight is 20/20 vision, and the year 2020 is literally in our past. What's up, YouTube? I am Coach Greg, and you all are here for training camp. Day one is about to commence, so feel free to look over at your teammates and ask them something about me if you want. I am a one-arm push-up master, a reptilian hiding in human form, a socialite producer for some of the world's biggest brands and most interesting people, one of them being BMW, a renowned coffee taste tester, as seen in my previous videos, which you can check out here, as well as a retired Baywatch lookalike. Didn't even spill a drop of coffee. Enough about me, let's talk about you. You and your fear to start a YouTube channel. You and the voice in your head telling you you're not attractive enough, you're not funny enough, you can't hold people's attention, there's too many tech things to making a video, I can't afford it, how do I even edit a video, I don't have enough personality, people are gonna hate me, and yes, I can tell you team, the odds may seem to be stacked against us. People online can be brutal and weird and crazy. They can also be incredibly great, but like any great team that has ever come before, they wouldn't be great if they hadn't gone through some battles to get there. And I'm telling you, you can get there, you should get there, you should start today. And here's why. I'm starting today. I started with my Instagram first, really investing in that over the last few years, and I'm super thankful for the growth that I've achieved. Still have a lot of growth to do, as we all could always do, but I'm thankful for where I'm at, and I saw a need to start on an additional platform, and so I have begun to do that here with you. You're at the building blocks, the foundation of what is here, but I can tell you from the rewards and the perks that are there in the land of Instagram, that I have seen in the land of YouTube, it is worth it. You should try it as well. One of the best perks, one of the biggest perks that most people appreciate is money. And yes, it will take courage to start on your YouTube, but I promise you, if you just take it one step at a time, you will get there. That's what I'm trying to do. Just take it one step at a time, be consistent, and move forward, especially in a time like COVID. So let's go to the couch. Who doesn't need money? Honestly, I know it's an uncomfortable conversation for some people. Some people get incredibly excited by the conversation of money. So I figured that, we could have this conversation today, you and I. Would I be happier with more money? That's an interesting question because it is a baseline for all of our lives and something that affects all of us. Some of us are working multiple jobs, barely making enough to get by, while others of us have tons of free time and are making more money than the rest of the world could even imagine. The incredible thing about YouTube is that it works even while you're sleeping. Once this video is up, it actually is literally working for me while I'm doing other things, while I'm at meetings, while I'm drinking my coffee, while I'm sleeping. This video is doing work for me, which I greatly appreciate the evergreen nature of this platform. Can it make your life happier? There's a lot of conversations about that. Money is not my main goal and my main pursuit in life. Take an example from when I first moved to Los Angeles, California. I was incredibly excited, incredibly thankful, but I also knew I needed to get work right away. And so I just took the first job that came my way. Now, super thankful for that job, but at this particular job, I could end up, and I did end up working shifts where I would get off and I would get home by midnight, only to be scheduled in the morning by another manager who didn't communicate with other managers, or that when I would get home at midnight, I would have to leave my house by 3 a.m. ready to work so I could get there on time for my shift to start. And that was pretty brutal. I mean, I know I'm young and I was younger then, but nobody should work an entire 12 to sometimes 16-hour shifts just to only sleep for 3 hours. This job was a very low-paying job, and it was literally bringing me one step closer to extinction every single day. If I had started something like this, like a YouTube before that in advance that could start paying me some kind of amount of money, that would have saved me that headache. That would have saved me my sleep. It could have been a great thing. So I think this conversation with money is very important. I think it's important for us to build things that are evergreen content, things that are working for us in our life. And that's part of the reason why you should start your own YouTube. I think it could be incredibly helpful for you. Another problem that it could have solved in the financial world for me is student loans. Most of us in the US have them. We're told that we need to take out a loan so we can go to college, so that we can get a job to pay off that loan. Yeah, I don't get it either, but that's just the way it is. And YouTube, as a monetary source, which I am working towards, could have been incredibly helpful and will be incredibly helpful in that whole process. Another thing in that process is that life can get expensive really quick. And like my grandma always said, you should never put all your eggs in one basket. Because if you trip and fall, they literally break all over the ground. And I think COVID has made us all well aware of that. They say that hindsight is 20/20 vision, and the year 2020 is literally in our past. So I hope we can all see clearly now that our eggs should be in multiple baskets. We should have multiple streams of income, one of them being YouTube. You know what? I can see you're still not going to start a YouTube, so I'm taking off the hat, because this pandemic, this worldwide crisis, should be stirring your soul to action. I think many of us need to have a few $1,000s in the bank account as backup savings in case of a crisis like this. I know it's a hard time, but if you didn't start a YouTube, it sounds like a you problem, which is also a me problem, because I didn't start a YouTube. What I'm saying is, we can do this. So start a YouTube. You can do this. What was that? College is too expensive? Start a service. You could make a product and sell it on Etsy, sell something on Amazon. You can start a YouTube and it will literally work for you while you sleep. Nice thing about YouTube too is you determine how much or how little money that you make. So the thing is, a lot of times in our lives, we end up working for other people. We end up spending all of our time and our energy and our youth making money and building dreams just so that other people get the reward. They get the money, they get the credit, they get the reputation for all of our hard work. And that's okay. Working for a company is a great, honorable thing. But what a nice thing when we get to work for ourselves, when we get to create something for ourselves and receive the financial benefits of that and the financial independence of that kind of life. You literally get to create your own schedule. If you want to up the pace of your YouTube videos and earn more money, you can always up that pace. It is completely contingent upon you. If you want to build a structure where you're paying a lot of people, you can do that. You can be like Graham Stephan and build a structure where you're not paying a bunch of people. You're just running a very tight ship on your own. It's up to you. So just start a YouTube. It's completely free. Literally, you can do it all on your iPhone or Android device. There are apps you can download for free that enable you to edit the videos that you could even shoot from your phone for free, or for whatever your current phone costs you. You already have it. Chances are you're watching this video from your phone that is more than capable of shooting that video and then editing that video and then uploading that video all for free. All for free. My second thing, and one of my favorite things, is for personal growth. I am all about personal growth. You will grow in confidence and your ability to communicate well, or interpersonal skills, or however you want to say that. That is even a communication thing right now, but I have already seen a growth of my ability to communicate and to talk on camera to what could be a lot of people or just a few people in a very short period of time that I have begun to do YouTube. Normally on Instagram, it's pretty quick things, whereas on YouTube, obviously it's film and video. So I'm getting used to being in front of a camera and speaking. Like there's this one person in the room that I'm talking to, and that takes time and it's a skill and it's ability, but it's something that I've been able to grow in over a short period of time, and I'm excited to see how it develops in the future. But that is something that you will get to grow in as well, because you are starting a YouTube, right? Not putting pressure on you, but you should start a YouTube, and personal growth aspects is an incredibly rewarding, probably one of the most rewarding aspects of starting a YouTube, beyond the future community, which I am excited to be building in the future, people, that I will get to meet along the way. I'm incredibly excited for the future. I'm incredibly excited to get to know you. And I'm excited to be growing with you. Like, what an incredible thing to say, hey, you saw this video when I was just starting and you decided to start a channel and we get to grow together. Who knows what the future holds for us? If you have a business and you're watching this, making your own YouTube just makes your business that much more personal. It puts a face to the name of the business. It helps you build a relationship with your customers, and brands that build great relationships with their customer base do better. A lot of huge brands out there, as I've been reading a lot of news articles, actually made their Twitter account a lot more like an actual individual personality and began speaking to people as though they were an individual, which is very interesting. But if these huge brands are doing it, then it would probably be a good thing for your brand to be doing it as well. Number 3, free things. We all like free things. Obviously, those free things cost somebody something. If you're a college student, this is a great reason to start a YouTube, because if you can't afford clothes for the next semester, be it fall or spring, there are changing seasons that call for different attire. And this could be super helpful for you. I know in college I was working 3 jobs. I was also working for my university, so that's like 4 jobs, while I was a full-time student in a very demanding degree that honestly required all of my time. Looking back on that season, I don't even know how I did it, but I also knew that I didn't have any money. Being a broke college student is challenging in a lot of ways. So had I thought in advance about really building a social media presence, I would have been super thankful. I can't go back in time, so I can just take the day, and I'm working on that, and I've been super thankful for that to have started to happen on my Instagram. And that's one of the main motivations for me building my YouTube, is that it can provide for my life. And as long as I'm consistent with that, and as long as you're consistent with building what you're building the brand, building the YouTube, the social media outlets, social media marketers go through YouTube looking for people that are creating content that they want to collaborate with, that are aligned with their brand. And that means you when you start your YouTube, because you will be aligned with some brands no matter who you are, no matter where you are, because each brand is serving a different niche, right? And so they will more than likely, as you're consistent, they will reach out to you and offer you free things. An example, I had a brand recently reach out to me, actually a marketing company that was working for this national, it was actually an international brand, reach out to me and say, hey, we like your style. We think you would be a great fit for this campaign that's coming up. It's coming up pretty quick. So could you respond to this quickly and let us know if you're interested? They gave me a full rundown on what was expected and what they wanted from me in return. And so I checked it all out, and I was like, you know what? I actually like this stuff. I like this product. I could definitely do this. I could definitely use the clothes for this change in season. And I think my following base would actually appreciate these clothes, and this is something I can get behind. And so I said yes. We discussed the terms and everything, and I did ask for a couple of flexibility things. I wanted to be a little creative with what I delivered, and then I was able to, they said, you know what, check out the website, choose some items you like, and let us know. So I chose those items, and once they came to my doorstep, I put them on. I created some content. I tried to go above and beyond what they asked. In fact, I did go above and beyond what they asked. And, you know, starting out, I always think it's important to surprise and delight. Not only, like, that's a retail sort of term that I kind of picked up on from working in retail, but surprise and delight, because my goal is to develop long-term relationships with these brands, with these marketing companies, and that they know they can trust me with what they're bringing to me. They know that what they are going to propose to me, that I'm going to knock it out of the park and might even do a little extra. Who knows? But the free clothes were a great perk. Well, I'm definitely a lot more of a minimalist in my life, and I prefer not having a lot of things. It's definitely great to be able to give some things to Goodwill, to move some things through the seasons. Usually my wardrobe consists of more staple items, such as black pants, as you can obviously see, and a black shirt. You know, if I want to be crazy, put on a white shirt with black pants. Crazy, I know. But I do love some good changes, maybe some good patterns on a shirt, maybe like another layer for winter. I appreciate the change up, the way that it makes it feel, but consistently I try to keep the same sort of staple items. That brings me to number 4. Starting your YouTube will help your negotiation skills. Let's move to the table. The next time you are sitting across a table from somebody like this via in person or digitally, your YouTube experience will have grown your ability to negotiate. Let me explain. I had a company reach out to me a few years ago. Reach out to me on Instagram a few years ago when they were a successful and budding company with huge investors. They reached out to me and said, "Hey, we love what you're creating. We would like to align our brand with your followers. And in turn, we will give you a free bag of coffee beans. And then for every 4 people that buy our product using your code, we will give you an additional free bag of coffee with a code for yourself to get 30% off future purchases." Now, I like free things, so that was nice. They gave me what they wanted me to do. I said, "Okay, that will cost this much." They said, "Oh, sorry, we don't pay people for creating content." Now, I guess they assume that I'm just worth some coffee beans. I mean, I like free things, but it does take me time to get the creative brief, to go out and create the content, to edit it, to use my skills that I've used for big brands, like I said earlier, like BMW, to create content for them. Be as polite as I could. They're a pretty big company and had a lot of money, and outside of COVID, it wasn't like they were on a skimpy budget. So the little bit that I was asking of them could have easily been provided. It wasn't outside of the norm. It wasn't outside of what was possible. It's not that they didn't have the money, it's that they didn't want to pay me. So I'm spilling the tea. I don't want to make it too messy. This company is thriving and doing great in this time. And the thing that the icing on the cake is that they don't even make the coffee beans that they were selling. They just sell all the other brands in the world's coffee beans, and they're trying to kind of monopolize the market. You gotta know, I'm not gonna speak too negatively on that, but you gotta know your worth. And in the process of this, you'll get a lot of people that reach out to you for different things, and you'll get a better opportunity to state your worth, to negotiate what you want in the midst of that. And the biggest thing is that if you don't start on YouTube, you won't get any experience doing any of that. So start your YouTube. Whew. All right, this time is going by quick, so we need to move on. Number 5, it will give you a creative outlet. No matter whether you're working a full-time job, a part-time job, or no job, working on something creative is a fulfilling process. And to know that what was in your head actually moved out into a reality of a physical space is an incredible thing, an incredible growing process. I love the fact that YouTube gives me the ability, and social media platforms give me the ability to think about something else other than my work and to try out new things and push myself in different categories and different arenas. As I'm growing my YouTube, I'm excited for what happens in the future and the different ways and different challenges and different opportunities that happen. And I know you will be as well. Number 6, increased time management skills. We only have so much time in every day, and so when we want to do something new, we have to figure out how to fit that time in there. I guarantee you the time is there. You just have to make time for it. I get people all the time that talk to me about, man, I wish I was at your stage of life or whatever. I just don't have the time. Well, I know people who are outside of my stage of life that are in these other people's, maybe your stage of life, maybe you're in my stage of life, whatever. I know people in multiple stages of life that are able to do this, that are able to do YouTube, that are able to do these other things, additional things, because they have created the time. They have carved out the space to make it happen. Life has demands for all of us, but we also have demands for life. In order for those demands to be realized, we have to work towards that. We have to carve out space. We have to protect those times. Because when we don't protect those times, we are literally robbing our future. This is your future. This is me literally talking to myself to encourage myself to also encourage you to create this future, to bring it into reality. So I've been working hard on this YouTube thing. I've been pushing myself, and I'm hoping that this encourages you. I've started mine. Well, it might be a little bit harder to start off this way. I'm trying to take it from the baseline and get used to this thing, this YouTube space, and just build this community here on the platform in its native form. And eventually I'll start cross-promoting or start crossing over between both of the spaces. It would be a lot easier that way. But this is the way that I'm starting. This is the way that we are starting. Don't be afraid to start your YouTube today. We have so many huge YouTubers that have made massive mistakes. They've said some really racially offensive things. They've done some really horrible things. And so we have an easy blueprint, all these obvious landmines not to step on. So we know the path. We can see the path. Start today. What have you got to lose? That's it, team. Training camp is over. It's time to get in the game. Start today. Can't wait to see what you'll create.